All right, well, we've got an update here. Actually, I haven't filmed anything up until this point, but this is just when it gets to the good stuff. So, uh, working on the head gaskets again. So I bought those black onyx or whatever the crap they were years ago, and when I did this last time, and now they're blown. You know, seems to be the common problem here with these head gaskets, unfortunately. So, project is obviously to redo them. And the difference between last time and this time is last time I did this in the driveway by myself with the cab on, and obviously this time the cab is off. So I got, new house and just put this lift in, so away we go. So, there's plenty of videos that show how to get the cab off. If you follow, actually, I think I already did make a video now that I'm talking about this. Anyways, if you follow, I looked at Diesel Tech Ron on YouTube and a little bit of the Senior Master Tech. He goes kind of fast. So, but Diesel Tech Ron runs through pretty much everything. I had no problems getting it up, and didn't break anything, didn't tear up any wires or any of that. So I got lucky. But I say I got lucky, but I watched his videos and I took my time and I double checked everything. The only thing I had to do extra, pretty much outside of what he talked about, was down the side of the truck, actually on these bolt holes right in here, are running boards, and these are the, I don't know what they are, aftermarket, whatever, extra long. They run all the way back to where you have a step to get up in the bed, which is cool, but the way that they kind of curve at the end, it would have hit the body on the back. So I lifted it about 3 inches, and then I started walking around looking, and I just happened to look back there and went, oh, well, yep, that's not going to work. So I had to take those off. So here we are, and it's actually not been too bad. The only thing that really set me back time-wise was I had to wait for the fan tool. I saw that those guys do it with like an air chisel, and they'll hit these holes, and try to spin it and get it out. I didn't want to do that. I had already taken the belt and some other stuff off anyway, so I was kind of screwed. So I bought the little $50 kit over here that's got the hook and the big wrench on it. If I can get this off. So it's that. There's the big wrench. You can see. I don't even know what size it is. And then this hook, which just wraps around that thing and lets you really torque on it. And it took some force to get that thing off. So that was kind of a pain. But other than that, haven't had any problems. It's just kind of trying to take my time and not break anything and not do it the wrong way. When I do this, I'm going to update absolutely everything. I've got all my parts. Actually, I don't even know what. Oh, they're all. Let's see what drawer. Hey, look at there. So I've got the new standpipes with the little Teflon or whatever it is ring in it. The new, I think that's like the STC fitting or something for the high pressure oil pump. The large standpipes again with those updated rings. Ford OEM head gaskets. That seems to be the way to go. And I did buy, I think this is a cam position sensor or a crank position sensor. I was having some, I don't even remember what the issue was that I was having, but this was one of the things they recommended to replace. So while I got it out, I'm going to go ahead and put that new one in. All original Ford stuff, no aftermarket, none of that junk. So hopefully we'll be in good shape. Here's my collection of some of my parts. I bought another thing of ARP torque assembly lube. So this is the super high or super low friction, whatever they call it. I guess it's called ultra torque or whatever. But on these, so obviously I've got the head studs in, and still have the head gasket problems because the gaskets are bad. But you're supposed to only have to torque these down to, I think it's 210. I got to go back and read when I get to that point. I think it's in like 3 steps, so you do like 70, 140, 210. And I think that's what I did last time. It's really hard to do it with the cab on, but it can be done. So I got some more of that, so obviously I'll reuse these. Bought new wire looms for the glow plugs because one of them was cracked. They were all leaking. There's just, I don't know if we can see or not, but yeah, you can see all the gook So obviously I've probably only put maybe 30,000 miles on it since when I did this last, and you can see there's just a layer of crud and stuff on there. So, you know, while I got it apart, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up, and if it's cheap enough, I'll replace things. I do have a weird issue with when most of the time it's at either low speed or when I'm stopped at a light after it's been running for a little while, and it's random. I get surges real bad. So you know, if I'm not holding the brake, you know, it'll make me jump, you know, forward pretty bad. And they said one of the things it can be is the oh crap, where is it? The sensor, the ICP or IPR, whatever that one is right there. The pigtail can go bad. So I'm going to replace that. I'm also going to go ahead and replace the one in the back. I can't ever remember which is which. I think that's the IPR and that's the ICP. Something like that. Anyways, I'm going to replace both of those pigtails. I'm actually probably going to go ahead and replace that. I've already replaced this one up here once in the head. I don't remember why. And then that one in the back. There's a place local that rebuilds them for $150. So it's like, well, I got everything out. You know, I'm just gonna spend a few extra, probably $1,000 just on stuff that I may or may not need. I'm also gonna get rid of this steering box, which is a stock one, and I'm gonna go with the red head steering box because those guys, you know, supposedly have the best one out there. They hand rebuild them. I've heard the ones from O'Reilly's and AutoZone are junk, so I don't want to have to deal with that. They're like $400 plus like, I don't even know, $70 shipping and all that. But you know what? I have, you know, like 2 inches of play in the freaking steering wheel, and whenever I hit a rut, man, it just jerks me all over the road. So, anywho, so that's kind of some of the stuff I'm going to be doing. So you can see right now what I've got is basically all the accessories, you know, the stuff off. I didn't want to take any of the oil cooler or the housing for the high pressure oil pump off yet, just because I don't want a whole bunch of dirt and stuff flying in there till I'm absolutely ready to do this. So what I'm going to do also while I have it out is take the engine out and leave the transmission. I may actually get that rebuilt because I have a problem with reverse where it shudders real bad randomly, especially if I have a load on it. Like if I'm backing a trailer up an incline, I mean, it, you know, I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's done that ever since I've had it. You know, if I go easy on it, it's fine. But I may do that depending on the cost of the rebuild. If it's like, you know, $500, $600, $700, since I've got it out, I'll probably do that. I'll probably take it in. So I'm gonna take the engine out, and the reason is because I have a bed plate seal leak, oil pan, something down there. I also have a really bad leak on the dipstick, which I found. So I'm gonna replace that O-ring on that thing. I just got to go get one from the dealer. I can't really find them online, or I don't know what I'm looking for exactly, the part number. So no big deal. I'm going to replace that. So I'm also taking the engine out. I'm going to get take the bed plate, the oil pan off, the bed plate, reseal all that stuff. I bought the Permatex and the Ford silicone sealant specifically for this that Senior Master Tech recommended. So, you know, trying to do it right, get her back up and running good. So I just got to go get some seals for that. So anyways, that's the plan now. So I'm at a point where I'm ready to take this out. I got the converter bolts out. That's 4 of them. 2 of them I dropped down in the housing, which makes me wonder how in the world I'm going to get these back on there. I guess I need to get some sort of a magnetized socket or something, because I sure don't want to drop these in when I go back. So, and it's weird. I'm used to small block Chevy, old school stuff. And I started rotating the engine, and I saw this, you know, where the cover right there, it plugs in, you know, kind of back up in there, and then it gives you an access hole. And I started looking like, well, I see the nut. How am I supposed to get to the bolt? Well, I guess that's probably just welded onto the converter is what I'm assuming. So it's not like the small block Chevy. You can't get to the underside of the transmission and take the bottom half of the bell housing off. So, but anyway, so you do that. There's a little peephole there, and you just rotate it. Rotate the engine. You know, I just used a breakover bar. I don't know where it's at, and then the flywheel on the front. You know, it's really easy, which is actually kind of interesting because I still have all the glow plugs and everything in, so I don't know why that's so easy to turn. But I wasn't turning it fast, so maybe that's why. But so that's the plan. Take it out, reseal the whole thing. Obviously the the front cover, the back cover, the oil pan, bed plate, head gaskets. It's all new internals for the high pressure oil system with those new standpipes and everything. The new STC fitting in the back. I don't know if I need it or not, but I sure don't want this thing to fail and have to do this crap again. I mean, obviously I wouldn't lift the cab for that, but I sure don't want to tear into this motor again. So that's pretty much where we're at. So next step is to basically, I'm going to roll this thing outside, and because I don't know if I can get the engine out. I probably can, you know, with my clearance between, you know, the truck here and that, and I can't really go up higher on my lift because I'm about to hit the garage door opener. I didn't look at that when I pulled it in, or I would have came a little bit more forward, but whatever. You live and you learn. So I'm just going to roll the whole thing out onto the driveway, or right back there. Sorry, back there, and pull the motor there, stick it on a stand, and then roll the body back in so it's out of the rain. And a little trick I just came up with here is, once I get the engine out, I'll have I've got a transmission jack that I'll use to hold that in place, but then I'm going to get a 2x4 and run it from this part of the frame over to there, and wherever the holes line up, I'm just going to put a few screws in to hold the transmission up. That way I can take the stand out and roll the truck back in. And you know, while I've got that off, also you can see, I mean, the freaking frame and everything else is nice and rusted. I don't care about the drive shafts really, but all the frame parts, you know, any of the front cross member and all that stuff. The back one looks fine, but all that stuff, I'm going to take it, pressure wash it real good, and do some sort of an undercoat, something, you know, really high durability. We don't have any salt or sand problems down here with the weather down in Dallas, Fort Worth area, so, but I'm going to go ahead and, you know, do the good stuff anyway. So that's kind of where we're at. You know, I'll start taking some videos and stuff as I do updates now that we're into this stuff where you don't really see anybody do it this far, I don't think. You know, you see them lift the cab and all that, but, you know, I'll try to show a little bit about it just in case anybody's ever curious. And, you know, hopefully it'll all go good. We won't have any more oil leaks, and, you know, because I get a few spots on the driveway now, but, you know, I think that was mostly from the dipstick. But that's where we're at, so hopefully, you know, in the next couple days we'll get back and get this engine out, start tearing it apart, take the heads off, take all the high pressure oil cover off, oil cooler. No, actually I don't need to take, well, I'm going to take that out anyway. Since I got it out, I'm going to check the filter and clean the filter or replace it if it's broke. One time when I looked at it, it was broke whenever I was doing some other stuff. So, you know, I'll just go ahead and check the whole thing, make sure it's all good. Anything that's broke or needs updating, going to do that and get her all back up and running. So that's pretty much it. That's where we're at. So see you soon. If you have any questions, let me know.